Hey everybody, I'm Grandmaster Joel Benjamin. Welcome to ICC's Banter Blitz, our monthly little get-together where I take on all comers in 3 minutes with 2 second increment blitz chess. And I see that we have a lot of people lined up, some usual suspects, but some new players. Always good to have some new blood, provided that you're not too strong. I don't want too much of a challenge. No, I'm kidding. All right, here we have Shamanx, who I don't believe I've played before. And as you guys know, I tend to like to kind of play thematically in these games because, if I whip out, 20 moves of opening theory to beat people 100 points lower than me, that's not very sporty, right? But it's actually turned into some kind of closed Sicilian, one where I haven't really paid too much for my insolence of playing a6 on move one. Ah, a threat. Okay, I'll block that strategy. Now I'm tickling this pawn on b2. Seems like he's jumping through hoops to try to take this knight. He's going to put a knight on a2, I guess, which maybe is not the worst of squares, but so what am I going to do about that? I think I'm actually going to load up for a kingside attack. I'm actually going to start thinking about maybe pushing f5. Another plan is to take with the e pawn and then try to push on the queen side with c4. But I think I'm going to load up this way. Maybe I'm rushing f5 because in this position he can challenge the long diagonal, but I'll just go and do it. I mean, it's a blitz game, right? If bishop f3, maybe I'll just take it and then and then d5 or even d5 right away. Okay, so f3, he's going to be solid in the center. That's quite reasonable. And I could play f4 here, but I'm going to actually go for keeping it more fluid. At least Shamanx has played fairly quickly. I've taken a little more time while I'm elucidating everything. I don't want to rush too much. I want to have a chance to talk about stuff. Okay, f4. A lot of good things. I can take it and try to come into diagonals with my bishops. That's kind of tempting, but also e4, maybe just come through the middle with my pawns. They seem to be pretty well protected by my bishops on the diagonals, so I think he's getting really pretty well squeezed. Yeah, maybe he should have held that there perhaps, because now the pawns maybe even getting even stronger. c4, legal to take that en passant. I could take on c4, and then I have connected pass pawns. d3 is also tempting. I'll just take it. d3 was tempting. If he takes d5, I can take back bishop takes d5, and then I'm threatening two guys. So here I'll just get out of the way. How should I take back? I don't think it really matters too much. Either way, it's good. Now idea of e3, and f4 is hanging. Bishop e3. Actually, I wasn't threatening e3 because I was pinned, but now I am. Okay, I'm going to pick up the pace a little bit. All this talking, I'm down to 39. If I get down to 20, then I start seeing that big red thing, which always drives me crazy. So my big strategy is to avoid the red. Okay. All right, let's go. All right, let's kick that first. Let's roll that. Don't want to get them blockaded. Let's make a little mate threat. And then we break the blockade. Yep. The long diagonal. Actually, the long that's really, well, he's going to play 91, I guess, and then I'll probably, oops. I think that's going to be pretty powerful. Okay. All right. Take that. And then I take that. And then I push that. And then I dump that in there. And then it's getting kind of ugly. All right, I'll take that. And I'll do that. Now the rook is going to jump in a moment. Oh, I actually missed that. He protected his rook, but it doesn't really matter. Oops. What's that? Rook d2. Okay, I was not expecting that. Check. My back rank is more or less covered. Yeah. So I'll just take that bishop. It's a girl. I'll just take this rook so that rook doesn't surprise me with a move. And now we execute checkmate. And most aesthetic to do it with a bishop as opposed to rook. Okay, thanks, Chamanks, getting us started. I did a lot of talking and almost ran out of time. Well, that's part of the game, because obviously 3-minute game. If I'm just trying to win every single game, just that's all I'm trying to do. The best thing for me to do is probably just to move very, very fast, you know. But I'm trying to educate and entertain as we go along. Okay, No Mercy for You is up next. Let's see if he gives me any mercy. Now, I don't think that 1a6 is a particularly great move, but in fairness, I have to point out that Tony Miles, the late Grandmaster Tony Miles, defeated Anatoly Karpov with that move. So, c4, okay, interesting. Guess I have to adjust my plans a little bit to that. Takes, what's he thinking about? He wants to play Queen a4 check. No, maybe. Yeah, it does. Not sure why. I think that helps me more to develop my knight while he develops his queen. Again. All right, let's continue with the queen side theme. Eventually, I will have to move some things on the king side, though. Don't want to get too tardy there. I think he has to be a little bit careful with his queen. You know, like if he plays knight to c3, his queen is almost trapped, but I guess it's almost trapped, but it's not really trapped. Knight b6, he can go queen b3. But maybe d5 is an idea for me if he doesn't do anything about it here, which he kind of did. So now I should start developing, I guess. Yeah, that's probably prudent. Could go g6 as well, but I'll do it this way. Could try to take on d4 and get this knight in the game, or play rook c8, but I think what I want to do is really just get castled. I mean, that's one of the things I preach to students all the time is, you know, don't forget about getting castled rapidly. I mean, you want to look around at stuff, but, you know, very often a lot of tactics that you try to initiate before you get castled kind of rebound on you. h3. I admit I do not know what that move is about, but see, I'm just going to castle. It was to play bishop e3, but there's a pawn already on f3. All right, now I'm castled, so now I look around and see where I want to go with this. It's also a kind of a good strategy in blitz. But that move actually was quite useful. Now that I think about it, I almost wish that I had started last move. Okay. Like c8, the queen. So if I attack the queen, he just sort of backs out into a good place. Oh, maybe this is rook b8. Do I want to be... Is that being too clever? Yes. I'll do it. Because, maybe there's some kind of sneaky ideas against his queen. I probably should just take on d4. Maybe take on d4 and jump in knight e5. And he can take and double my pawns, but that's not necessarily so great for him because then he'll be very weak on the dark squares. That dark square bishop is very important for him here. He's put a lot of pawns on light squares. So he's covering those light squares very well, but not covering the dark squares as well. The bishop is doing that. So what's going on here? Rook b1. See, I wasn't really looking to attack the pawn. I was hoping that I have a direct threat, but I actually don't see it now. D5 takes, knight b6, queen b3, c4 takes. Okay, it's a good pawn sacrifice. Not that impressive. Maybe d5, knight b6, and takes. Yeah, let's try that. So by playing rook b8, I make sure that everything is defended on the b file. It's just a very useful move to get in. More useful, really, than his move. He just moved straight away. Confound it. Okay, what should I do? Take something. Oh, well, that wasn't... c4. C4, his queen is very close to being trapped. But you know what? I just won't worry about that. Because then I just, I kind of have to figure that out. And if I can't work out a way to trap his queen, then it's not working out so great. So I'll just play simple move. And now, what's going on? E5. I'll throw that in. I'm not sure. I have a lot of good moves, but it is a blitz game, so I guess I shouldn't take too long thinking about it. Now, next move, something comes to c5, I think. Bishop or knight? Not sure. Bishop a6, it would have been the other one. But maybe I'll go here. It's probably getting me the bishop pair. Nope. But now I think I'm going to get a pawn out of it. God, I'm thinking. Maybe I'll win a pawn. Also, big edge on the clock. So, looking good. My a6 move is bamboozling my opponent so far. All right, let me take another one. And so this one looks like it's coming in nicely. He attacks something. Shrek? That way. Okay. I only just noticed that my bishop is attacked. Okay. He gave it up there. No mercy for you. Thank you for playing. We have some lovely parting gifts. So far, so good. In that game, I think his mistake is he really brought his queen out for no reason. Queen a4 check. He didn't need to get the queen in. It just kind of got in the way and gave me extra things I could do. All right, so now playing a3 with white. But somehow it doesn't look as good with white, because you feel like you have to justify openings with white, whereas black, you just have to be okay, It's kind of a psychological thing. But so this is champion 32. But one thing he's doing is he's playing quickly. And in terms of, a game strategy, that's probably a good thing, because, um, in the opening, it's sometimes when you think you just come up with ideas that really don't help you. Sometimes just playing natural moves, just getting to a solid position is a good way to go. And they're A5, so he's actually, I think, playing this pretty logically so far with that move. Um, because it's not really in my interest to play C5 and give up the pressure in the center, but it's not really in my interest either to play B5. I think I'll play B5, but that was probably a good move, A5, because now he has C5 square, and now I'm a little bit unhappy that I played Queen B3 last move. But I think he should just play Knight C5 right away, unless he really wants this pawn um, on A4 for some reason. But now I have a slight problem in developing my knight because he's set up to play E4. I've been putting it off, and probably I've been creating a bigger problem in doing that. So what do I do about that? All right, let me just take that for starters. E3, I don't really want to do E3. Well, yeah, I don't really want to do that. I don't like Knight F3, E4, though. I just play E4. I think it's maybe slightly anti-positional. This is my relative anti-positional. Rook B8, that's a good move too. Threatening Rook B2, so I had to defend that. Yeah, actually, Champion 32 played a good opening. No question about that. I've gotten myself into trouble here. Knight B3. Okay, he wants to take off my pawn there. All right. Knock yourself out. Actually, I think it was defended because of the various tactics. All right, I'm just castled. Okay, if I'm losing this pawn, I'm losing this pawn. I'm just happy to get castled. Okay, well, he's just playing for, controlling a lot of squares, which is certainly not a bad idea. Maybe he can even... Is that pawn hang? We'll find out. No, he doesn't take it. Let's go for a demonstration here. So far, Champion's 32th play has been extremely good. Extremely good, I would say. Definitely, most likely playing above his head. Good for him. Yeah, okay. So far, he has not really made any mistakes at all. No mistakes at all. That's pretty impressive, I have to say. And playing very quickly, too. Very quickly and playing almost perfectly. Yeah, it's a very nice accomplishment. Just slow down. Okay. F6. Okay. Now what to do? All right. Don't have much time left. All right. Let's link up those knights. What to do, what to do. Okay, let's trade some stuff. I must concentrate. I must concentrate. Ooh. I think I better take that. I wish I'd thought of knight f4 a move ago, but what are you going to do? Again, with the perfect moves. I wish I could play Blitz that well myself. And I'm also kind of running out of time, which is not so good for me. Again, another perfect move. All right, let's sack this exchange. Oh, it's pretty hopeless, isn't it? All right, I did it. Oh, but now he's taking time on recapturing my rook. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. Okay. Okay. It looks like this game will not go in my favor. Okay, he's coming in for the kill. Yeah, not much I can do. Running out of time on top of all my problems. And now he can trade queens if he wants to. He's giving a lot of checks here. And then he does that. Okay. Looks like he's going to make a queen. Not much I can do about it. Looks like we're getting mated here. Yep. All right. He's got me. Okay. All right. Champion 32 wins. Very nice. No perfect score this month. All right. Who will be next? Cronus. Let's see what Cronus can do. Interesting. Is this another guy who's trying to out-weird me? I do something weird, a little weird, and he wants to be weirder. Okay, so now I'm the conventional guy here with my moves. So he's massing for some kind of kingside attack. Okay, let's hit him head on here. See what happens. All right, let's nip at the sides there. Queen e1 takes knight b4. And I'll just go with the usual business. Now, normally in this type of position, Black would have played d6 at some point. So this is a bit unusual. And actually, there is something to be gained for me in that my e6 square, I don't have to worry about the pawn on e6 being hanging or something jumping in. But of course, pawn goes d5. All right, that blocks me out. I may have to play d6 anyway. You know, I'll start with king h8. I'll just get that to the side. I think I'd be happy if he provokes me with bishop b3, because then later a knight will threaten to come to d5. e6. I think he should have just waited for me to play d6. I'm sure that would have opened up for him. I guess he wants a knight to come to g5. Well, that is, going to be at least a little dangerous for me. What happens if I take here? Maybe I won't even bother with that. I'm going to go knight b4. Well, could sack and exchange. Actually, I don't like that so much. Knight d5. All right, let's take. Let's take everything. Greed is good. For some reason, I'd really only considered him taking with the knight, which actually, I don't know why, but all right, knight f7. I'm not that worried about losing exchange over there. But in the meantime, knight is hanging. Maybe that's why I didn't think about this move. Can't I take that guy? No. See, you're not going to get a smothered mate on me. That is not going to happen. And something else is going to happen, which you don't think he's going to like. And that would be, I could move my knight, and what can you do about that? 95. Well, he doesn't even have a good way of sacking his queen. My first thought was he's going to play bishop takes b7, but it's pinned. It's not just the threat of queen g2. The bishop's actually pinned, so that's simple. Yep. And queen go bye-bye. Queen go bye-bye. Other things go bye-bye too. Okay. Let's trade. I'm a merchant. Now I'm just, picking the wings off the fly here. Okay. Thank you, Kronos. He was, it was sort of like a bootleg, where the quarterback just goes off to one side and you have all your blockers there. And but that time I was able to get good counterplay. Okay, Cloak 1. I don't believe I played Cloak 1 before. Could be wrong. I think he's a new guy. I'm not going to make the same mistake about not getting this knight out this time. So does he defend the center? Yeah, he keeps occupying the center, or he could have also just taken, perhaps made my bishop move again. Let's bring that guy out. Sometimes in such a position, you might consider delaying castling just to not give an immediate target on h2. Yeah, of course, I was wondering, should I have inserted an exchange in the center either on c6 or d5, which would have avoided this kind of thing happening? Maybe so. Kind of thinking that right now. Well, that's interesting. I thought that he might just take my pawn. I suppose he could get it back. All right. Oh, let's see. Should I open up that diagonal? Maybe I should open up the diagonal. Yeah, I don't think it matters that much. Maybe liquidate that. It's a position where I'm not sure that black should really worry that much about recapturing the pawn on d5 that quickly, because I don't know if I can hold it in the long run. But I certainly don't mind holding in the short run. Rook e8. And I suppose I should castle. So the bishop on e2, there should not be any Greek bishop sacrifice. g6. He wants to play bishop f5, but he is taking a chance in opening up that long diagonal. How do I set up e4? Yeah, so he's going to try and take that pawn now. Yeah. All right. Let me get out of the way. There should be something, because he has kind of left himself a little exposed there. Yeah. And I don't know, I'm just kind of winging it. Seems like that should be useful somehow. 94. Does that do something? I don't know. I feel like maybe I should take that guy. Pre-moved. Okay. Let's see if this does something. Just to open some lines here. I don't really want my bishop blocking the file, but it's a convenient spot. That's annoying. All right. Might have to allow a queen trade. Not the end of the world. What's the score here? How many pawns have I given up? 1, 5. What's the score? I think I'm getting something back, though. All right, let me just take that one, put that in my pocket for now. As we get to the Blitz portion of the game. Oops. I wasn't expecting that move. Okay. Looks like that should do something. D7, winning his bishop, maybe, if he's not careful. Yeah. Oh, I can do that, can't I? That should do something. Should keep him tied up there. Oh, I got that flash again. I hate that thing. All right. Oh, I wasn't protected there. Go after that pawn. Okay, how are you going to stop my pawn now? Something to think about, huh? Okay, that. Yeah, that gets you back. You're not in the square. All right, you made me go this way. This is a very interesting ending, actually. I think I've got just enough. Wow, it's a good game. Get rid of that guy. That B pawn will eventually win the game. Whew. Thanks, Cloak One. That was a good fight. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't calculate all that, but I figured that long diagonal would pay off some way. All right. Oh, what's this? Darshukarpov. Darshukarpov. I don't know if he's a Karpov fan, but he's not moving. So he may not be up for the task. Sometimes you only get one chance in life. Okay. Who's next? Arnav 311004 Tanger Niner Bravo. Maybe one game I won't let my opponent put both pawns in the center for a change. At least not so easily without a fight. All right, now you can do it. Excuse me. All right, now I guess I'll put something in the center. Okay. A3. I guess that was some kind of preparation. Oh, because he's thinking a knight's coming to D5. Really? That's kind of deep. And then to B4, I mean. All right, let's open up on the queen. Oh, got things backpedaling. I kind of like that. Got this F4 square, but I don't really see how to use it yet. All right. Maybe knight comes to C5. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. I think that maybe helps me to open up my queen on the D file. All right, let's see about this move now. Because before I was a little worried about knight E4. Now I can make that piece hang by taking the queen. So I might have to look for another move. But knight F3, I think, loses the E5 pawn. Yeah, so I think knight takes E5 helped me. Cleared the diagonal, cleared the D file. A6 wins. Yeah, I've been having an easier time with A6 than I have with A3. The extra tempo doesn't help. Yeah, okay, queen B3, D, minor pieces. I could take some minor pieces. That seems like it's something I should do. Chomp. Is my queen trapped? Almost. For some reason, oh no, I have queen A5. I didn't look at yeah, I didn't really look at that, but I have various moves. I also have knight E2. King moves, knight takes rook. Yeah, so I think I'll play knight E2. That certainly gets the queen out. Yeah. Take another one. Yum. Now I'm up lots of stuff. All right, thanks. Arnav 311004. Here's Ears, another regular, and now Ears always tries to out-weird me, and he always plays very slow and loses on time, but plays some interesting moves before that. So one of the sort of hyper-modern ideas is that I've traded off a wing pawn for center pawn, which should help me early in the game. In my youth, I used to think that the player with more center pawns was always had the advantage, but I kind of look at things a little differently now. Got center pawns, might as well use them. I got center pawns. I know how to use them. A5. Oh, okay. Once bishop A6. Ultra Fianchetto. Not sure about that move. Maybe that weakens some squares on the B file. Oh, I see. He was thinking, yeah, that bishop could be a bad bishop. But I was planning to play C4. He didn't necessarily know that, yeah. But after C4, it's not such a bad piece anymore. All right, I'll just take. Pawn or knight? Not an easy decision. Pawn covers a lot of squares, but then the pawn could be weak. Knight gives me more squares and a mobile center, so he takes with the pawn. I would not say that's. I wouldn't say it's wrong. I'm not sure it's right. Chess not always black and white. The pieces are, but rook c8. I would want to try to keep that rook to go, maybe to defend the pawn and try to get the other rook over. But how do I take advantage? Oh, I'll go queen b5. Generic aggressive queen move. Oh, it threatens the knight, but other than that, I don't know if it really threatens anything. Boy, I can hear the wind whistling outside. It's a windy day, nasty day in the Northeast, New Jersey, after being beautiful yesterday. I do not trust his queen c7. He's walking into a pin, but I guess he felt he couldn't defend everything otherwise. All right. 95 comes to mind. Takes. Yada, yada, yada. I'm not sure that's actually that strong. Rook c2. But then he gets the queen over. And maybe I can't exploit it that easily. I want to do something real good. Well, not that easy. Okay, I will go here. Everything's defended, which is good. I'll just take it slow. Hey, yours is ahead on time. I did say something about him playing very slowly, but I'm playing more slowly this game. So maybe I'll go over rook b3 and probe that b pawn. I don't know. See what he does. I do have a threat here. Yeah, I expected that for sure. And I don't know. I'll just double. I could have played knight b3 to be tricky and maybe have knight a5 or something, but queen c7, just, the move looked really dangerous, but I was not able to exploit it. So he's actually come out okay. His position doesn't look too bad for black. Gonna have to do some grinding. Chop, chop. And what? Okay, let's make some air bubbles. So now I've got more time. That's the usual story. And I think my last move wasn't very good. I should not have allowed that. That was a mistake. It was definitely a mistake. I should have played a4, I think, just to, well, then the pawns are on the dark squares, same color as the bishops. Is favorable for me. But maybe black's going to get b5. But I think I shouldn't have allowed b5 in that manner in any case. Maybe even queen a4 or something like that, just make it more difficult. For now, the pawn is pinned. But it's a good move. I don't know that I can claim I have any advantage whatsoever in this position. But I'm going to win on time. Oh, wait, maybe I do have an advantage. Can I play bishop a3? Yeah, I'm just in time to get that in if the queen wasn't hanging. Clink. But Ears pretty much held me even that game. I think he played quite solidly. Yep. Arg. Arg. Okay, that's good. All right. Cap 78 red. I think I've played him before a few times. Is he ready? Yeah, there he is. All right. It won't get too hyper modern. Let my opponents walk all over me in the center. C6. Okay. 94 maybe is a threat, so I'm not sure it's a threat because it goes c5, but trying to use this pin. All right, I think I'll push. I don't think he can really break me down then. My bishop on b2 protects a1, so I can always play a4. Just develop for now. Interesting. All right, let's take it. Let's double a pawn. Maybe doubling a pawn is a good thing. And I'll see if I can scare him with this a4, a5. He's not scared yet. Yeah, let's do another one. See where his queen goes before we do anything. C7. And so get some pressure on the diag. I didn't entirely think that last move through because maybe he could have played e4. Wasn't a crushing move or anything, but I realized I hadn't really, like I said, thought that through. I definitely didn't think that through. Forgot about that move completely. E4. Let's try something here. I'm going to go there and I'm going to jump. Should I? No, I don't want the bishop. I want to trade the bishop, I think. Knight d5, I could, yeah, I'd rather do that. And I take this pawn on e5. No, I cannot. But I couldn't wait on that move, I think, because otherwise he'd play e6. He did it anyway. What was I thinking? He could play e6. All right. Probably should have defended. Yeah. Should have defended my pawn. All right. Now I'll defend my pawn. A little too late. B6. All right, I think I'll leave that tension there for a moment. Yeah, but now after B6, I wish I had used the other rook. I did have a reason for doing it this way. This was my reason. See if it's a good reason. Seven, yeah. I kind of think he should have let me just take the pawn, but oh, okay. I thought he couldn't do that, but I guess he can. That was just my miscalculation. Just my miscalculation. No, it wasn't my miscalculation. I am winning a pawn here. Wow, has he really played that fast? Where's my time? I wish I had more time. But I only need enough time. I don't need as much time as him. All right, this looks like it's coming together. That pass B pawn is going to be a killer. I've got two pass pawns, so one of them has got to win. Check. Eat to the beat. I take everything. Thank you, Cap 78 Red. Yeah, the white games have been more challenging, haven't they? It seems. Luck of the draw. Vov. Vuv. Oh, interesting. B3. Hello, Vuv. I go one better. See, my pawn got two boxes. Now, if my theme had been 1G6, that B3 might be quite an annoying move. Right? One thing that masters know about this type of position is that you don't necessarily have to have enough pieces defending e4 to play e4, because sometimes you can play e4 and after takes, move the knight on f3 out of the way and exploit the pin. So that's a possible way to play. All right, so do I want to take this, or yeah, let's do it that way. I could go for the more pawn structure game with c5, but I'll do it this way. I don't know that pawn on b5 is an asset or a negative. Having it on b6 would be a little bit more normal, but I'm going to try to start plunking some knights into the center. The one thing I'm not too sure about with my pawn sitting on c7, my queen not having an outlet, is how I'm going to mobilize my rooks. I may have to just stash the queen someplace not that impressive, like e8 or c8, and just bring the other rook. Let's see if, I'm not sure if that threat is going to be annoying, but it could be something to think about. Good move in Blitz. Right. Well, I don't know if that helped me much, but now I can, yeah. Yeah, move probably didn't really help me, actually. Didn't actually really help me, because now he gets that in. He gets that in. He could kick my knight. If he plays c4 and I take, he doesn't have knight takes because b3 is hanging. That's important, I think. Yeah, I think that's important. I mean, he can take with a rook. He can take with a pawn, of course, but now the knight on c5 is staying, and he has some other squares. So a slightly unusual setup with the pawn staying back on c7. Seems like it's working out okay for me. That makes sense. I'm just going to put that in the center. Maybe my queen. Yeah, no, my queen e8 doesn't look so bad. Maybe it'll jump out to a4. My first thought was the knight goes there, but queen a4 could be a good move. Bishop c3. Does he want to go to b4? Good idea, but what happens on knight d3 now? I asked the question, and now I ask the question with the move. a3 is hanging, but also bishop c5 is kind of hanging. How does he defend f2? Yeah, I like that more than taking an a pawn. Ah. Okay. I fess up. I didn't see that. I trade, and then his rook on c2 is defending f2. Yeah, I just missed that. Yeah. Now I'm really kind of risking some stuff here. I could, yeah. If I take that, it could be in some danger getting mated. You know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to play h6. Because I don't like this knight coming to g5. Took a lot of time there, kind of nullifying my time advantage. Oh well. All right, now, yeah, but I didn't want knight to come to g5. Anything else is too slow to bother me. Okay, this rook is hanging. The other rook is hanging too. Yeah. So the low time killed him there. I think he might have had a chance to play rook d2. I'm Vuva's favorite GM, and he says I can crush people bigly. Yeah, I have the best moves. Thank you, Vuv. That was a tight game. Yeah, clock helped me out a little bit. Yeah, I might have had rook when I played h6. He rook d2. I saw rook d1. I can play knight f2, but rook d2. Maybe I'd play knight f2 anyway, and then I could probably get a couple pawns and a rook for two pieces. That's certainly would work out okay, but maybe my position objectively wouldn't have been as good. All right, favorite pawn. Favorite pawn. What is your favorite pawn? Or are you the favorite pawn? Do you see yourself as a pawn in the chess game of life, or do you have a favorite pawn? I know someone whose favorite pawn is the f pawn, but this pawn is not specified. So favorite pawn has put two pawns in the center and is favoring them there. Knight e7, so he leaves it free for him to move his f pawn. But I don't know. I think I would have been more concerned about the knight going to f6 actually, and that because then he has e4. I'm always a little bit worried about when the opponent plays e4 in this type of position and chases my knight. Pawn or knight? I'm going to take with the knight. Pawn takes as a cheap threat of c5. Of course, black could play knight g6. But I don't like to play for cheap threats, so I'll do it this way. I think that's another one that's a bit of a matter of taste. So it looks, yeah, a little bit like a kind of, like I'm playing a kind of Sicilian. B5, yeah, in Sicilian they do that sometimes. If black, I guess black can cover the C file because the bishop on D6. So I think I'll just take, rather than retreat, I'll just take the bishop. And favorite pawn should take with his favorite pawn. Should take with the C pawn, and he does, yeah, because that otherwise weak squares. And I had been thinking knight d2, but yeah, you generally don't want to trade off your bishop pair. So maybe I'll just kick that bishop and keep the bishops on and maneuver. Well, two bishops for two knights. I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know about that. Just move the bishop, because now you have potential for suffering here. Potential for suffering with knights against bishops. I should be able to do something. But he's thinking, I'm not concerned. I'm going to go checkmate you. And, well, I don't think that should work, but b7. All right, let's see what happens. That would at least, well, shake things up, either win the file or get a pawn or something happen. Okay, gets me the file, and he saves the pawn. I think that I may actually just let him take this bishop. I may just let him take that bishop, because then I feel I'm coming in. In the meantime, yeah, if he doesn't take it, his rook is frozen. All right, now getting ready to come in on the c file and start eating. And here we go. He has knight e7 trick, but okay, he's losing material anyway. But I have to. If he moves his queen, I have to watch out for it. But my pieces aren't staying where they are. Will we ever find out what the favorite pawn is? I think rook takes with rook d8 idea also looks decent, but I think this is a little more to the point. Threatening a6, threatening to get on the open file. All right, I don't mind just liquidate, because I'm taking all the pawns. I'm threatening the e5 pawn. Everything's dropping. Take that one. It's routine from here. Okay, now we block that file, and the b pawn is doomed. His knight is almost trapped too. Actually, it goes to h4, so I won't bother with that. I'll just bring my king. Bring my king some more. It's really just to cover h4. Okay, bring my king some more. Now his knight is about to get trapped. Like I said, his knight is about to get trapped. I did warn him. Okay, favorite pawn. Maybe someday he'll reveal the mystery of what his favorite pawn is. What's my favorite pawn? I don't have one. Pawn that wins the game. Okay, Agamemnon. I have a feeling that's one of those handles that makes more sense if you know how to pronounce it correctly. Agamemnon. Agamemnon. So it goes for a quick a4. Am I supposed to play b4? I already have my pawn on a6. I don't know if that trading of the rooks is supposed to bother me. I don't think so. f3. Okay, so he's trying to build the wall and make me pay for it. Yeah, it's true that I don't really want to defend that any conventional way. All right, you know what? It'll be unconventional. I'm going to go c6. Just not going to worry about that bishop. I'll just play a totally different kind of strategy. Let's go more conventional modern defense. One thing I know is that he's not going to castle queenside. It's not possible. He doesn't have anything over there. Now you can play bishop h6. I don't really worry about that too much, because the dark square bishop is a very good piece for white in this type of position. We've had this kind of thing before, right? Today, um, so that doesn't really bother me. It's a trade of a good piece for another good piece. And this move e5 probably it can be stronger if he goes for that. All right, c4. All right, interesting. They take. Which way does he want to take back? I mean, he played b3. He didn't need to do that to take back with the bishop. But I don't know. I mean, his pawns. He's got an isolated pawn. Maybe it's not such a big deal. Oops. I got to defend that, right? No, I don't have to defend that. I got a bishop on a6. I thought that I could just castle, and I thought, wait a second, he's attacking my pawn. No, he's not attacking my pawn. Yeah. Okay. Should I just flat out break d5? I don't know if I should, but I think I will. Because, yeah, I can maneuver to play against the weak pawn in c4, but maybe I should just try to open things up. If I can get my bishop on a8 into the game, I'm maybe breaking down that pawn on e4 so that diagonal becomes open. I don't know if he can really prevent pawns from being traded in the center, opening up the bishop. Possibly c5 could be a threat, depending on what he does, knight c3, c5. So I think I've managed to get a pretty good kind of Pierce here, but now maybe we'll come up with a little tactical idea to try to make me regret that I opened everything up. He does have a big lineup on the d file right now. He's got queen and rook, but he's got all these pieces blocking it. But sometimes they can get unblocked, and then things happen. Although my pieces are pretty well defended where they are. I've got almost every piece is defended twice, which is good insulation against tactics. Right, so now he plays knight c3. Now there isn't any c5. So now he's going to get an isolated pawn, I guess. Okay, I think I should just take. And, okay, position should be better for black. Better chances, whether he trades some pieces or not. Okay, he's going to trade the pieces route, and I assume that at the end of this I can move my knight or my queen somewhere, and it should be okay. I could have thought about trying to attack the pawn, but I thought I'd go for that weak square, and also I missed that move because I really wanted to threaten knight c4 and stuff, and I can take on f3. I don't know how weak those pawns are. Could play queen c7, try to take the e pawn. These endings are very hard to win, though. Yeah, I really didn't want to trade that knight. Okay, maybe I'll just take on f3 and then look for some kind of corny checkmate. Yeah, I don't know. But at least I keep the queens on, and yeah, I mean it's a little tricky for white to play. I mean that's for sure. I did say tricky for white to play. I completely overlooked something here, but maybe it's okay. Yeah, I completely missed that move, but all right, I could play f5, but rather than liquidate stuff, yeah, I know I have a little problem that it's hard for me to make luft here. Hard for me to make luft. Eventually, I might just throw up h5 because, yeah, otherwise I don't like to have the luft on the diagonal. Yeah, he is kind of bugging me. But maybe eventually I might come in through the back door. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, it's a time game, so really the best thing to do is to make a lot of quick moves. And eventually this rook will come in somewhere. All right, there's my h5 move. Should I play bishop b5 first? Maybe. Check. Really just quick moves probably are best here. Going around the rosy here. Check. And now I think I get a pin here, yeah? That should be good, right? What could go wrong there? Well, no, he's still pinned. He's still pinned. Still pinned. Still pinned. What's the best thing? Take the exchange, take a pawn. Okay. Go for win the exchange. That should do it. Because I think he's also probably going to lose a pawn on top of it. Oh. I hadn't seen that, but I had that defended. Okay, Agamion, that was a good fight. And a position where, maybe like really, really perfect play, white holds, but, black just, you're welcome. Black just moves around and tries to create threats. So that was kind of a workout. All right, here comes Chess Freak. G6, yes. Well, I actually played A3 in tournament games a little bit in my youth. And, I always felt that, technically G6 is a really good response because the move A3 doesn't really fit into anything after G6. But I suppose I can just play a position sort of down a tempo. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's kick that knight. So I'm just playing a position like a Pirtz, which is, kind of okay position, but I've wasted a move with A3. But of course, if you don't like to play the Pirtz, then G6 is not necessarily the answer to A3. Yeah, that move is definitely not necessary, H6. Okay, that's what he's up to. He wants to keep things blocked. Well, unusual. I'm actually going to take it. En passant. I'm showing off my knowledge of en passant. Yeah, maybe it's not really that great a move at all, because still A3 didn't really help me. But he did lose all these tempos. Should be able to take advantage. Yeah, to me it was a no-brainer to move the bishop, but I guess he was thinking about whether he would really have time to do it. Okay. F3. Bishop F3 maybe bug him on the diagonal. Now that I see it on the board, I don't like it so much after knight C6. Yeah, what did I get with that move? Not much, because I don't want knight coming to E5. So yeah, that was pointless. Okay. Okay, he could take this knight, give me horrible pawns, but he will miss that bishop, so I'll live with that. Won't worry about that one way or another. I think he should just develop his knight. Yeah, it didn't come out with all that much. Knight E7. Well, 97 indicates some interest in the move F5, but I don't. I'm not really convinced that that's such a great plan anyway. I think that probably is better off putting the. Oh, I guess he wants to stop knight D5 because B2 is hanging. Well, maybe I just don't worry about that. Yeah, I think I just won't worry about that. Oh, it's just something else I don't like. But I don't really like F5 with a pin someone. All right, I'll play knight D5. It's not exactly what I wanted. Yeah, that's a good move. Okay. And a lot of people play C4 and go for kind of pawn attack there, but I kind of like just covering the D4 square and blocking the bishop and maybe moving the wing pawns forward. I think he should have played knight F5 last move. I wasn't really sure what to do about my bishop, but maybe I could play bishop F4. This move is still sort of possible. So I kind of have an idea that the answer knight F5 with bishop G4. Yeah, I guess that could be a little bit of an annoying pin. Okay. F5. Interesting. Weakening, but he's getting some space. I don't think I'm too worried about it, though. I'd kind of like to get that pawn up to A5. Uh-huh. Okay. Well, maybe I'll just trade some stuff. Wow. Where did the time go? I've got no time. That's not good. I'm trying to do a deep analysis of this position, and it's I just have no time. That was not fun at all. I probably should not trade, but I just need to be able to move quickly. All right, I think this should be good. Very quick analysis of things. Check. Okay, this is winning. There goes the bishop. Also, with the increment, you get under 20 seconds and you can think like, what do I do? But then once you get to that winning position, yeah. Well, that was one of those games that was sort of strategically interesting, and then suddenly came down to just you got to make quick moves. It's pure blitz, and it came out for me. So that was what was that? Chess Freak. Good game, Chess Freak. And now Syra or Sarah. It seems like everybody is doing the same thing against me. They all want to put this pawn in f3 to block my bishop. It's a little obsession. All right, let's do. We haven't really tried this approach yet of hitting with d5. And let's see how that works. A3. You don't really want to see that pawn get to b4. That really would cramp me. Although I could play a5 to challenge. Maybe I shouldn't be that worried about it, but I do have this idea that I want to trade my bishop with a5 and bishop a6. Okay, defended against knight e5. I thought that he would defend it by just playing f4, but it goes in this direction. That's cool. But with the pawn on f3, yeah, it seems like ultimately he's going to have to play f5. All right, I'm going to go for one of these, g6, and trade this guy. Fundamentals. Something hanging. Something hanging here. What's he doing about that? I mean, this guy's going to come in the game anyway. Might as well come in the game that way. Now I've got something to work with over there. I was thinking I'd get this kind of position, but with a pawn on b2, this is a bonus. Now lots of trades would be nice. Okay, you can play knight b5, but then after I castle, what does he do about that? You'd almost have to sacrifice. Yeah, I think I will castle. I'm not so happy about my king being over there, but I think that it's worth it to get both rooks working on the open files. I think I should be able to crash there before he gets any real counterplay. I mean, already big threat on the c file, which probably there isn't any defense to. So he's got to offer something over there. Maybe the e5 pawn is going. They could try to defend with bishop e1. Yeah, he could do that. Yeah. Okay, so how to take this? Takes. Yeah, I think this, because this is going to trade some things. I do have some slight apprehension about giving up that dark squared bishop to defend, but I think a better strategy for me, it may be just to eliminate all the attacking pieces, and then I don't really have to worry about him getting in after me. Getting rid of that e5 pawn now opens up some avenues for my pieces to come in. Also, maybe for him, I do have to be careful about those dark squares. Queen e1. Well, my thought was I was going to move my knight, but I think that now I really like weakening this over here and maybe jumping in there and where to put the rook? To c2, I guess. If you take g6, it's possible that I could take with the queen. Because who's zooming who in that position? Because I could also just take with the pawn. Looks good to take, and now he's really kind of exposing himself down there, and so just take G6. What's he do about that? Other moves too, but that looks strong. If he checks, takes, check, f6, everything's covered. Yep. That move. Yeah, I think simplifying is, well, make it interesting. I don't think that white has much chance of surviving this endgame. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's not going to try too many pawns. Okay, a6 wins again. Yeah, that was interesting. Counterplay came real quick. Well, he blundered the pawn on the queen's side. Yeah, that helped a lot. That helped a lot, I admit. Shafkat. Another maple leaf. So now I'm sort of playing a position where I just have a pawn on b3 sort of randomly. I don't know if that's a good move at all, but let's see what happens. Give him something to think about. Okay, at least to stop queen g5. All right, let's hit it to center, see what this does. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know what I thought about knight d2. I thought about taking something on c6. Was not really sure about that. All right, am I going to win a pawn here? I don't see why not take this thing. Pawn for me. So some vague compensation. I don't think it should be too real. I think I should be able to safely castle here. Where is he going? All right, that's the tempo. Oh, no, that's not a problem. I can just castle. That defends d4. I didn't see it, but I didn't have to see it because it wasn't all that terrifying. How about a trade, good sir? Test of endgame prowess. Bishops of opposite colors, yes, but also knights on the board. So I'm not so worried about the bishops of opposite colors being all that drawish. All right, he's going for trades. Don't blame him. That's not a bad strategy. Ah, he stopped at 1, so he's thinking. All right, I'm gonna try to shake things up here with this move. Where is he going? Where are you going? You just dancing around on me? I didn't think you had any place to go from there. Knight g5. Okay, so but now I'm ready to go. Here we go. Bishop c6, d5. Oh, yeah. He had 96 there, I think. I was prepared to sack an exchange, for fun, but I think he should have done it. Okay, so now I take something. What? This. I could be wrong, but I think that my knight is covering all the squares his bishop could go to. All right, so now, maybe I go in. Should I go in? I go in. Maybe run him through with the d pawn. You got a couple extra pawns. I think their presence will be felt. Okay. d6, king f7. Not sure about that. Let's kick this guy. Let's kick him again. I think I'll just hold the d pawn back for a while. Well, that was an oversight on my part, but okay, I don't think it's too serious. Because bottom line, I just want to get in there. Oh, actually, maybe knight h5 was better, but all right. I think that's going to be decisive in any case. Just have to kind of not lose on time. Just start gobbling things. Gobble. All right, let's push it now. Just avoid mating. That's all I have to do, really. Yeah, there's no chance you can mate with those pieces as long as my king isn't trapped. So see, well, it can't be a stalemate. He's got a pawn on a5, so yeah, he didn't have that pawn on a5, but he does. Yeah, he does. Okay, Shafkat, thank you for the game. All right, so I guess we must be getting close to the end soon. I can never really keep track of how many games we got in. So far, so good. Who will be next? So we had a combination of new and old today. I've kind of got my regulars. I'm not entirely sure if these are guys that play in all the simul's, or I've got my own personal fans that always come for my blitz. But in any case, it's nice. And here's J. Russell 2, who is a frequent competitor. And apparently this is going to be the last game. So will I be able to end the session on a nice little winning streak? Or will J. Russell 2 take a bite? It's interesting that I've had some struggles with white, but I don't think I've actually gotten a bad position out of the opening with black. Playing a6 on move 1. I mean, the opening's the opening. You can always overcome it, but it's actually just sort of flat out worked from the beginning in these games. All right, so J. Russell 2 with a pawn sacrifice there. I'm not sure what he's going for, but I'll take it. I will take it. Almost like kind of wing gambit, but not one with a lot of apparent attacking ideas. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just didn't really know what to do on that move, so I made a move. Mm-hmm. Let's bring that guy over. Now we go to feast. Knight a5 is getting threatened. Okay, he stopped it. Mm. All right, let's just trade that. Mm-hmm. Mm. Probably wasn't such a great idea to trade on A3. I forgot why I wasn't doing it. That I wanted to have knight A5, so not anymore. Uh, I'm not too sure about that one. Okay, D6, actually probably D6 is a useful move. Don't try to suddenly attack me on the king's side. I said don't try to do that. You're not going to suddenly attack me on the king's side. That's so well barricaded. Yeah, okay, well. Mm-hmm. Be careful we don't get that thing trapped. Okay, that's good. Creates a square. Creates a square for the queen. Okay, I'm going to go here. And here. See, I like blocking the pawns like that on a dark square because he has. We both have light square bishops. He takes or not. I'm gonna let's take with a pawn. Mm-hmm. Very good. Knight b3. Oh, e4 is hanging, and I take it. Kind of assume that must be good. You know, I could have taken with the bishop, and I only didn't because a6 is hanging, but then I have rook d3. Yeah, knight, bishop f5, I think, was more challenging. And now what's happening? I'll just head back to where I came from. Get back to where I once belonged. Back deakage. Also, my opponent is now about to run out of time as well. That's not so much fun to have to handle something like this when you've got no time. Then things like that start happening. That was defended, no? Yeah. All comes together. Okay, J. Russell 2, thank you for the game. All right. Okay. That went pretty well for me for the most part. Yeah, my A6 worked especially well with black. Not quite as well with white, but managed to win most of them. Well, that was fun as always. You know, I don't get to I don't play very much Blitz anymore. I have to be honest about that. I don't play many Blitz games on ICC. I don't know why. I think because most people like to play 3 minute without increment. I have to admit I never tried the 5 minute pool, but I'd have to play solo because I had so many games where I was like up queens and people would run me out of time and I go, "Arr." I just hate that. Um, so because I don't play any over the board Blitz pretty much anymore. I used to play a lot when I was a kid. So I guess it's kind of nice for me to just get out there and play some Blitz games, just play for the heck of it. So I enjoy it, and it's good to give you guys a shot. I appreciate everyone who came out today and played, and those of you who got in the queue and didn't get in, sorry, maybe next time. There's always April. I'll be back again, and looking forward to taking on all comers again. So once again, I'm Grandmaster Joel Benjamin. This has been ICC's Banter Blitz. Take care, everybody. Till the next time.